Hello everybody, welcome to this video tutorial on how to create a lightning bolt gun for Gamemaker Studio 2. The lightning bolt gun should work on Gamemaker Studio 1.4 just with some minor differences. Now you should be able to use this effect for just a regular lightning bolt effect, but we'll be going over how to create a lightning bolt gun that will damage enemies and shoot from a weapon and follow the player. So this weapon is part of a asset package that I put together for the YoYo Games marketplace store. It includes two other weapons with it, the Laserbeam gun and Lockon bullets. You can find this asset package in the link below. It has all the code that I went over in these three videos, as well as all the artwork I created for these weapons. Now it also includes the camera that I also did a tutorial on, so it has a camera system set up with it as well. If you'd like to see the other videos that are in the asset package, you can find them on my channel. Let's get started in creating this lightning bolt gun. Alright, I'm going to assume that you already have a good understanding of Gamemaker Studio and you just like to add this weapon to your arsenal of weapons. So I'm not going to be going over basic things. I already have So I already have a room set up with my character as a top-down. Now this weapon will work in a platformer as well as top-down, or you can use it in the a space shooting game or whatever you'd like to use it as. But I have my character set up with some enemies coming toward him. Now you can just set some targets around that we'll be using to attack. So I have my sprite player with the origin set to the bottom in the center. He's 54 width and a height of 80. Then I have an enemy, and you like I said, yours can just be a box or some other thing, or if you already have an enemy, that's fine. Then I have a gun with the origin set to about the center. It's a width of 77 and a height of 33. And if you don't have a gun, just use a rectangle for now, whatever you like. Then I have a wall. It's just 64 by 64, so you'll need the wall so that we can collide with the wall. Down here in sounds, I just have a sound set up for when we fire the weapon. You can set up whatever sound you like. I just named it Sound Electric. Going down here to the objects, I have my object player, of course. I have an object enemy with a sprite and an object wall. Now the other objects and assets in this aren't important for the this tutorial, but you can set yours up however you like. Alright, so the first thing we're going to create is our actual lightning bolt. So this lightning bolt gun is going to be a sprite based system that draws lightning bolts to a surface and rotates along that surface. So very simply, let's just create a lightning bolt. Create a lightning bolt called sprite bolt. And we'll set my origin to the top left. I'm going to right click on the image and go to edit image. And select a small pixel. And if you look down here right in the left corner, it says, over here, it shows the coordinates. So I'm going to come down on the left side and place a pixel at 32, and I'm going to do the same thing on the right side, 32. Now I'm going to put 2 pixels above and below of that. I'm going to copy this up here and paste. We're going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And we'll come over here and grab Alright, now that that's complete, let's go over here and we're going to create another sprite. And this one's going to be sprite bolt mask. So for this one, we're going to go to edit image, and we're just going to fill it with a random color, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. Image, resize all frames, and we're going to uncheck maintain aspect ratio, set a width of 1 and a height of 32. We're going to double click back on that and set the origin to the middle left. Come down here in our objects, an object, create object. We're going to create obj lightning gun. We're going to come to our object player, and we're going to do instance create layer. Whatever your layer name is. And create our gun as our player is created. Now our object lightning bolt, we're going to give it a sprite of our gun, and we're going to make a create event. Now our create event, we're going to do alarm 0 equals 1. This is going to be our alarm to fire the bolt. And I'm just going to set a depth of -10. Now I'm going to create a particle system here. This is going to be for the particles that come out of our weapon. I'm just going to copy and paste this code. And you can use this code for your particle system, whatever particle you want to create. Now in our step event, I'm also going to copy and paste some code to move the gun with the player. So you can use this code as well to move it with your player. See, I have y equals object player y minus 40. This is so that I set the gun to the middle of the player. This is so that the image will flip depending on which direction it's pointing. Alright, so let's see how that looks. Assignment operator expected. Oh, I made a mistake. There we go. Let's remove that 9. So we have a gun that moves with their player. Good. Alright, next in the lightning gun, we're going to add another event. It's going to be alarm 0. This is going to fire a bullet. Fire the bolt if so. If we press the left mouse button or wherever you want to press to fire the bullet, and if you know, whatever you're using right now, we're going to use the mouse, and it's important because we're going to fire the lightning bolt in whatever direction the mouse is pointing. So let's go ahead and when we have that, let's go ahead and create our lightning bolt. Lightning bolt, and let's give it the sprite of the lightning bolt mask. Let's go back to our lightning bolt gun, and we're going to do instance create layer x plus length x 35 image angle. Okay, so we're going to copy that. This is so the bolt comes out of the end of our weapon. We're going to change that x to a y and that x to a y, comma, the name of our layer, and the lightning bolt. I'm going to play the sound of it firing. and then we're going to create some particles at the end of our weapon. What's going to be is up here. Particles create PS, and we're going to create them at the same location as the end of our bolts coming out of. So I'm just going to copy this code here, paste that. It's going to be global dart part flash and 1. We'll just create one of them. So it would look like that. Alright, that should finish it up for our lightning bolt gun. Let's go ahead and go into our lightning bolt. Alright, so for our lightning bolt, the bulk of our code is going to be here in the create event. So I'm going to come over to the create event, and we're going to initialize some variables. So our direction, our rotation is going to be from our X and Y to our mouse. This is going, alpha is going to be for fading our lightning bolt out after it's created. I'm going to set the image angle to the right, and I'm just going to set a depth of -101. Our length is going to go ahead and set that to 0 because we're going to change this in a minute. So I'm going to set a maximum range of 1000. You don't want to set this too far because we're going to be using a surface, and you don't really need to go that far anyway. You know, you can go off the edge of the screen, but it doesn't need to go super far. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to check collision with the wall, and we're going to adjust the length of our bolt to be the distance between our player and the wall. So while not collision, point x plus x length, that's th length right. Copy that, change those x's to y's. Object wall, true, true. No semicolon. Alright, couple open brackets, and we're going to do if len is less than 1000, len plus equals 10, else break. Okay, so this is just going to add a length until we hit the wall, and then we're putting a break there because we don't want it to keep going on and get stuck in a loop. Then we're going to set the image X scale to the length. All right, so next part we're going to create a surface, and then we're going to draw. We're going to draw our sprites to that surface. You may be wondering, why don't we just draw the sprites directly? Well, it's easier because we only need to draw the sprites once, because if we draw them more than once in the draw event, then it's going to be randomized too much, and it's going to be all over the place. So we need to draw the sprites randomly onto a surface, and then they're going to stay in that position as they fade out. So let's go. Var surf h equals 64. Okay, so this is the surface height. This is going to be also the height of our sprite. So whatever height you set it to. Surf w. Okay, Okay, so the surface width is going to be our length, and we're going to add 1. Now the reason we're going to add 1 is so if we're right at the wall and there's 0 length between our weapon and the wall, that the surface is not created with a length of 0. If you get a length of 0, it's going to give you an error. So surf equals surface create surf w surf height, like so. We're going to do a surface set target. Okay, so we're setting the target to draw our sprites. We'll do another variable. Let me drag this down. Bar count equals len divided by 64 plus 64. Okay, so this is going to divide. This is going to figure out how many sprites we need to draw, and I'm just adding 64 to give it a little bit of buffer. So, so in case we don't have enough sprites, and it'll go over the amount that we need. We'll do var I, and then I'm going to do a for loop. For I equals 0, I less than count I plus equals 1. Let's see if that's right. I believe so. So they're just going to do a for loop to draw the amount of sprites we need. Now we're going to randomize the image index. So we're going to do var frame equals I random. And remember, we have 6 sprites, so we're going to do I random 5 because that's going to be 0 through 5 to give us the amount of sprites we need. Then next we're going to randomize the Y scale just slightly. And we'll do a color of blue. Now this is going to draw the outward glow to be blue. What am I? I have an error here. What is that error for? For I equals 0. Ah, that's not an I, that's a 1. Let's put that as an I. Okay. Okay, next thing we're going to do is draw the bolt. Draw sprite extension. Sprite bolt frame I times 64 0 1 plus Y scale 0 C white and 1. Okay, so that's going to draw our extra bolt. Come down here, we're going to draw the glow. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to modify it slightly. What's the problem? Sprite bolt frame I times 64 0 1 1 plus Y scale 0 C white 1. I'm missing a 1. Alright, so there should be a 1 right there in between those. Alright, so what we need to change here is we're going to do 7. And we're going to change this to 0.35. Copy that, paste there, and we're going to change that 7 to a -7. We're going to copy these two. I'm going to paste it. We're going to change this 0.35 to 0.65, and we're going to change this 7 to a 3, and change this -7 to a -3. And that should do it for drawing our sprites. Surface, reset target. Alright. Now we want to create some particles at the collision location at the end of our bolt. So I'm just going to paste in this code right here, and you can do the same. Alright, next thing we're going to do is going to add a draw event. And in the draw event, we're going to draw the surface. If we're going to check to see if the surface exists first, and if not, we're going to recreate the surface, because sometimes they get things get weird. Yeah, so anytime you're creating a surface, you need to draw it, and just make sure you have this little bit of code to check to see if it exists, because sometimes the memory likes to dump the surface because it's not stored in the hard drive. So surface create. We're going to fade out and then destroy our lightning bolt once it's completely faded. Check if alpha is greater than 0. Alpha minus equals 0.03. Also instance destroy. And then we're going to draw the actual surface. So we're going to draw it at the end of the gun. And the reason we're doing 16 in the rotation is so that it's being drawn in the correct location. I'll show you that in a second. So let's copy that code again, and we'll change that to a Y. So the reason we need this code, let me show you real quick. Okay, so we have our gun here, and this is the end of our gun. And we want to shoot the lightning bolt out here, so we need to draw the surface. Now if we create the surface at that location, it's going to create our surface here, and a lightning bolt is going to be created there in the center. So what we need to do is come up 16 pixels, come up 16, and we're going to come this way because we set that to 90. Yeah, we need to set that to 90 in the first place. Rotation plus 90. Totally missed that. So plus 90 on those rotations. So we're going to come up there and we're going to do 90. And that's going to draw our surface like that, because 16 up and 16 down, that's 32. That's going to create our bolt coming out of the end of our gun here. And you know, whichever way this is rotated is going to do rotation plus 90, so we're going to create it here again, there, and that's where our bolt's going to come out. So that's the reason for that code. we're going to do 1, 1, rotation, right, Z, right, and we're going to set the alpha to alpha. And that draws our surface. Alright, let's see how this looks. So if we get any errors, no, I'm going pretty quick on this thing, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. Yes, I did. Alright, so I have my alarm. Let's see what I did. I need to reset the alarm. Alarm 0 equals 10. Object lightning bolt not set. OBJ. OBJ lightning bolt. And again, it needs to be sea blue. Alright, now if we get past these errors. Alright, great. That creates a lightning bolt out of our end of our gun. Now we need to set a few things so that we can hit the enemy and deal some damage. Alright, so we're going to first create a DS list. Hit enemy equals DS list. Create. Then we're going to go to the event, and we're going to add an event. We're going to add a collision event with the enemy, and we're going to if DS does not equal -1 exit. Did it again, TIS. Other dot HP minus equals 30. So in your enemy, you want to make sure you set up some HP. I have mine HP equals 100. We're going to do DS list add DS list hit enemy add. So this is going to check, see if we've already hit our enemy. If we haven't, it's going to negate 30 health, and then it's going to add that enemy to the list so that we don't hit it again. So we're going to create a destroy, and then a destroy event. We're going to go DS list destroy. Alright, so we need to make sure that we're cleaning up and destroying our DS list so it's not saved in the memory, so we don't have a memory leak. And on that point, we need to go back to our object player. Okay, so here, I'm sorry, the lightning gun. Here we created our global particle system. So in the destroy event, where's that? There's right. We need to go part and destroy our particle system. Alright, let's see how that works. Alright, let's do one more thing. We're going to create some particles at the location of our enemy. So I'll copy that so we can tell that we're hitting their enemy. We're going to come over here to our lightning bolt and our collision, and we're going to do with other, like that. I'm going to paste something in there. I'm going to take that, paste in there. I'm going to remove the other, do HP. Then we're going to just remove that linked dir area. So we have that. You guys will see a flash. I know what's going on. Okay, so we're hitting the enemies even though our lightning bolt is not going over them. So what's causing this error is because of our sprite, the bolt mask. The collision is set to automatic, but we need to set and type to rectangle. We need to set that to precise so that it detects it precisely. And I'll see if that works correctly. Outstanding. Alright, that concludes this tutorial on how to create a lightning bolt gun. I hope you enjoyed that. If you like this video, you got some, feel like you got something out of it, please give me a thumbs up, give me a comment down in the video below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any suggestions or edits, or if you have any questions regarding this, and I'd be happy to help. Please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get notifications. I'll be doing more awesome videos like this in the future with effects and guns and that sort of thing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and have a good night.